Okay, so hey there guys. So today's video is going to be a really special video to me. Today is going to be a collaboration video on using a full face of Black-owned makeup brands. Now, I've been up and down and back and forth about whether or not I wanted to do a video like this on my channel, but honestly, it's very, very important to me to feature these kick-ass brands right now. And I just want to start off by saying that this is not something that's trendy to me. It's not something that I want to just jump on the bandwagon about. These brands have always been brands that I've loved and I've featured on my channel, and I just wanted to dedicate a full video to some brands that people might not know about, some brands that maybe you want to get exposure to because you're trying to branch out to new brands. Like, maybe you don't want to be purchasing from Sephora and Ulta anymore and you want to expand your horizons. And I just wanted to feature some of those brands on my video today. So this video is going to be a collaboration with a new friend of mine here on YouTube, and her name is Robbin'sSafePlace. I will leave her channel linked below, of course. We've been talking for the past couple of days, and I'm so thankful to Moment with Chip, my dear friend Chip, to send her over to me, because originally I wanted to do this collab with Chip, but unfortunately she wasn't going to be able to do it. She kind of wanted to branch out and purchase more brands herself before she could actually do the video, and I told her I wanted to do the video pretty soon, around this week. So she ended up sending Robin my way, and we've been talking for the past couple of days, and she seems like such a sweet girl. We've been talking back and forth on what we want to use in this video, and we seem to both be just genuinely excited to feature and talk about these brands. So let's get into this look. Before you watch my video, please go and subscribe to her channel. I'll leave her linked below in my description box. Go show her some love, you guys. I really want to use my platform and also my friends on YouTube to gain her more subscribers. She has a very, very small channel, and I hope that you guys go and send her some love. She is really cool. She has like this whole wall of Pikachus. I think that's so freaking cool. She's also a Potterhead like me, and she also does a lot of unboxings and subscription box unboxings on her channel of like geekware and like other things that I'm into, because we're all dorks. So yeah, go show her some love, and I'm really excited to see her video, and I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I hope that it expands your horizons and exposes you to some brands that you might not know about. And go show these brands some love and support, especially during this time. I genuinely love these brands on my channel. I've featured them plenty of times, and I hope that this inspires you to maybe change up your makeup taste and maybe just branch out a little bit and see what kick-ass brands there are out there. So I'm going to start by priming my eyes. And also, I am going to leave a couple links below on where you can donate to. I actually just made my first donation a couple of days ago. There's a organization and makeup brand called LipSlut.com. I hope I don't get demonetized. I mean, actually, why am I saying demonetized? I don't make any money on it. There is a website called LipSlut.com. I just found out about them last week, and they are a liquid, I believe they're liquid lipsticks, and they're a liquid lipstick brand, and they only have 4 shades available right now. 3 of the shades are sold out, and 1 of them is on pre-order. I ordered the pre-order shade. I'm not going to say it on my channel because it does have a curse word in it. So I did order that, and what you can do is you can choose what organization you can donate to. Now, I donated to Black Lives Matter, but there are a number of charities and organizations that you can select when you order the lipstick, and 100% of the proceeds go to any organization you decide to donate to. So I felt like I wanted to do some sort of donation, because I really don't do that too often. Everybody's tight with money right now, but I really just wanted to show some support and love for Black Lives Matter. So I decided to donate to their organization. But again, you can donate to any organization you want that is listed on their website. So I just thought that they were a really cool website to feature, and that's the organization I decided to donate to. So I hope you guys are inspired to donate and contribute in some kind of way. So I'm going to, doesn't mean you have to, no pressure at all. I just wanted to feature a couple of organizations below. Okay, so I'm going to start by priming my eyes. Unfortunately, I don't have a primer from a Black-owned makeup brand. Honestly, I only have drugstore primers in my collection because for me, I just don't spend the money on expensive eyeshadow primers anymore. I don't think there's too many eyeshadow primers out there anyway. I don't think Juvia's Place has one. I don't think Pat McGrath has one, and Pat McGrath is so expensive, but I'm going to feature a few brands today. I have quite a few Black-owned makeup brands in my collection. I have Colored Rain, I have Ace Beauté, I have Beauty Bakery, I have Pat McGrath, and I also have Fenty Beauty. Now, Fenty Beauty isn't a necessarily Black-owned makeup brand, but the face of the brand is Fenty, so which is obviously Rihanna. So that's why I wanted to feature some of her products on my video as well. And I also wanted to talk about inclusivity in the makeup industry. So I just want to start by prepping my eyes, and then I'm just going to put on a little bit of my Sugar Lips Shop lip gloss just to start off with. Again, I don't think this is a Black-owned makeup brand, but they're a very small brand. So I also want to feature, you know, some brands that you can show some love to that are just small, homemade brands that you really could just support during these times, especially since it's so hard for companies financially right now, especially the smaller brands. So if you go show some love to smaller brands as well, I've been trying to support smaller homemade brands, and it really has just felt so good to give back to some of these hard-working brands that are literally made in their house, and they just kick ass, like Lele Posh and Sugar Lips Shop and Spooky Babe Cosmetics. But that is not about those brands in this video. I just wanted to give them a quick shout out. Okay, so for the palette today, I was torn on whether or not I wanted to use my Beauty Bakery palette or if I wanted to use my Colored Rain palette, but I decided to feature my Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette because I haven't used this palette in my videos in a really long time, but this is one of my all-time favorite palettes. This is probably my favorite Black-owned eyeshadow palette that I have in my collection because Colored Rain has always been a kick-ass brand, and this was the palette that put Colored Rain on the map. This really blew up at the time and really made them pretty much a mainstream brand to a lot of people, and this palette blew up on YouTube. Everyone was using it, so I really wanted to feature it today. So just give me 1 second. Okay, so now let's get into the look. So I'm going to be jumping into the Colored Rain palette, and I'm going to do probably a relatively simple neutral eye today. I'm probably going to do something more cool toned. So I'm going to jump into the shade Air right here. Now, for Colored Rain shadows, they are very, very pigmented. So I find that if I just dip a little bit into the pan, it comes off very, very pigmented. And honestly, I don't even really dust off the product when it comes to this shadow, because this shadow is extremely pigmented. Like, you would think that this shadow wasn't really all that pigmented, but when you actually put it on, it's pretty pigmented. And when I use this shadow and I try to use it to like blend out other shades, it can really overpower the rest of the shades in the crease, and it will cover everything up that you just did. So just keep that in mind if you have this palette, or if you've wanted to try this palette, because this is their I think this is still their most popular palette. I haven't bought anything else from Colored Rain in a really long time. For me, I just, you know, decided to branch off and use and try different brands like Ace Beauté, and I am brushing it off. There is a lot of kick up when you use these shadows. They are very powdery, but they're very pigmented, so it doesn't really bother me too much. But Colored Rain makes amazing eyeshadows. They're one of my favorite eyeshadow formulas. It's the only palette that I've tried from them, but this palette always impresses me every time I use it. So that is the first shade. That shade was called Air. I'm pretty sure you guys got that. Okay, then the other shade I'm going to use in my crease as my defining shade is the shade Royal Prerogative. So I'm going to take that. Sorry, my dogs start barking when my mom dumps out the humidifier from downstairs. I'm going to use Royal Prerogative, and I'm going to use that as my defining shade. So Colored Rain offers a wide range of a lot of different products. They have pretty much a full makeup line. They have, I think they have foundations. I probably should look at that again. I'm so sorry. Like, sometimes I'm not always up to date with every single brand, but that happens with any brand, with anybody. Like, I'm not gonna keep tabs on every single brand that comes out with something because, you know, who has the time for that? But they have amazing eyeshadows. They have really good liquid lipsticks. They have some great blushes and highlights, I believe. I kind of do want to purchase one of their highlighters and one of their blushes. I've just been kind of on a no-buy right now because I'm waiting to see whether or not the unemployment benefits are going to be extended in after July. So I've been on a low buy right now. I was on a no buy for like 2 weeks, but I kind of broke it last night. But I only spent $30, but that's because I needed to order something else from Lele Posh that I forgot to order. So I did place an order on their website last night, but it was only to order like 3 things. Okay, and then for the outer corners, I'm going to go into the shade Duchess right here. And I'm going to, again, just tap my brush in there. Again, it does pick up quite a bit. And I'm just going to blend that on the outer corners. For some reason, my words are leaving me today. I have ADD, and I've had ADD my whole life. So for me, it's very hard for me to portray how I feel. Sometimes I get a little bit nervous when I film. And I do feel nervous filming this video today, but for me, I know where I stand, and I just want to give you guys a little bit of a background on how I grew up. Probably some people are thinking, like, how could you possibly, like, understand how we feel? You're a white girl. Like, you probably have been had white privilege your whole life. And yes, I probably have, but like, for me, it has never stopped me or made me question or question my views on how I feel about anyone, anybody's race, anybody's background, anyone's sexuality. That has never been a factor to me, like, ever. It just has never even crossed my mind that I'm going to hate someone or discriminate someone or not be friends with someone just because of what they look like. It has never even been a factor to me. And I think it's because I went to and grew up in a very diverse school system. My school that I went to had a very big mix of different types of people, and I was always friends with anyone and everyone who wanted to be friends with me, because I had a lot of trouble making friends in middle school and high school. Middle school was a nightmare for me. I absolutely hated middle school. I just wanted to get to high school, and then as soon as I got to high school, it sucked too, to be honest. It was better than middle school, but honestly, it still sucked. And I just could not wait to get to college, because I was bullied in middle school. I was bullied in high school, but it didn't stop me from being friends with a multitude of different people. And I think it's because me, my sister, and my brother were always so involved in the theater program in my high school. Before I start talking more, I'm just going to take the shade Real Highness, and I'm going to put that all over my lid This is such a gorgeous, shimmery, cool tone color. And it's a really beautiful lid shade. Like, look how pigmented those are. Oh my God, I forgot how buttery these are. Oh my God, look at that. So pretty. So anyway, I feel like with theater and a lot of extracurricular activities is a really great chance to make friends with a great mix of different people. And I feel like since theater has never really made it a factor of what you look like, they base it on talent and rather than your skin color. I think that that inclusivity in the theater programs and basically anything on Broadway, like, that's never really been an issue, that it kind of, you know, opened our eyes up to being friends with all different kinds of people. And it's never really been an issue for me, my sister, and my brother to be friends with anyone that is different than we are. We've always been very open to giving anyone, because to us, giving anyone a chance, because to us, they're all human. We're all human. We are all human. It does not matter what we look. Would you want us all to look the same? Wouldn't that be boring? Like, our differences make us unique and make us beautiful and make us different. And different is unique and beautiful, and we should embrace people that are different than we are, because there is no difference to me. I see you as a human. I don't see you in any other way as another human being. I just have so much to say in this video, so like, I don't want it to be too long and for me to make it too long. I just want to get back to the makeup now. So, and also the same thing, I just wanted to touch on again my background and where I went to school. I also went to a very, very diverse college as well. I was friends with anyone and everyone, because in high school, I didn't have that many friends. So in college, I had made so many new different kinds of friends, and I didn't care. Like, I was just so desperate for friends in high school that I became friends with so many different people in college, and I became friends with all different types of people, and I would hang out with anyone and everyone because they accepted me and I accepted them, and it was never ever a factor to me whatsoever what you looked like. So I'm just going to spray my face now just for some hydration. So now we're going to go into basically everything else is going to be a full face of these brands. So the next product I'm going to go into is my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Primer. I've been using this pretty much every day since I've gotten it. I'm actually really happy that I have this now because I didn't have any type of Black-owned makeup brand primer before this. And my sister gave this to me, and I've actually really been loving it. So I'm going to use this today. Okay. Excuse me. So if I come off a little bit insensitive or anything, please just leave it in the comments below. Because again, I've always had a struggle with words and a way to express myself. So I really would just love for you guys to leave it in the comments below. If I say anything wrong to you guys, please let me know. Okay, so now for my face, I'm going to use a combo of two different foundations. So I really want to use and feature Beauty Bakery. Now, Beauty Bakery has been one of my favorite brands for a while now. I absolutely love the concept of the brand. It's just so freaking cute, and I have quite a few products from them. I have their eyeshadow palette. I have some of their face palettes, the blush palette and the highlighting palette. I have some of their lipsticks. And the last order I had made a couple of months back is I really wanted to try their foundation. So this is the Instabake Aqua Glass Foundation, and I have mine in the shade 359C. But I'm going to mix it with my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation because this foundation is a little bit too matte for me by itself. So I'm just going to take probably 1.5 pumps, and then the rest of it is going to be the Fenty Beauty shade. This one's in the shade 110, and I'm just going to take probably 2 pumps of that. They were 2 little baby pumps, so I just don't want this to be too thick, but I'm hoping with the mixture of the Fenty Beauty, it'll make it a little bit more hydrating, because the Beauty Bakery foundation is really, really full coverage. And like I said, I don't love it on its own. It's not my favorite foundation. I definitely prefer the Fenty foundation over the Beauty Bakery, but obviously the Fenty Beauty foundation is not as full coverage. I didn't like the Pro Filter matte foundation because for me, I have dry skin and it was just way, way, way too matte for me. Okay, so I'm kind of surprised on why, I don't know why I chose to get the Beauty Bakery foundation. But I can appreciate that Black-owned makeup brands really understand shade ranges and they go really, really, really pale. I think this is was probably their palest shade. It might honestly be too pale for me, but sometimes I really love really pale foundations, and I feel like inclusivity in the makeup industry has always been a big problem. Like, why is it that some of the smaller makeup brands like Colored Rain and Beauty Bakery, why is it that they understand shade ranges and include at least probably 30 to 40 shades when they first launch a foundation? Because for them, it's not just about pushing it out and getting it out and releasing the next thing. They really take the time to make sure that their shade range is inclusive and includes, you know, a multitude of different skin tones. And there's no excuse for some of these bigger not million, billion-dollar companies to not be inclusive and not be able to release a wide enough shade range for all different types of skin tones. Because guess who buys the most makeup? I think you know. It's not white girls. I mean, I buy a ton of makeup, but it's black girls. It's black women mostly. So, the fact that you're not going to, and that shouldn't be just a factor on why you expand your shade range. It should be because you really do care about not being what is it called? Excluding these different skin tones. It's just ridiculous at this point. Like, there really is no excuse for it anymore, and that's why people were so, oh, I really like this combo of these two foundations together. I've never mixed them together, and I really like it a lot. Okay, and then for my concealer, I'm going to be using my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Concealer in the shade 150. But yeah, African American women are the biggest spenders on makeup, and it's always been like and I'm sorry if like black girls wasn't the right term. Again, I don't want to come off wrong or insensitive at all, so just keep that in mind. So that's why I just changed my terming. So it really just shouldn't be a factor anymore, and it should just be because you want to include a multitude of, and their excuse is always that foundation shades are hard to work on and get the right shade matches, and mixing them is really hard. And it's like, I feel like that's just an excuse for them to just get the foundation out, and then when they get all the backlash and exposure because people were hyping up the launch because you got the controversy of not including an exclusive shade range, you'll get more people to talk about the foundation and more people will buy it, and then a year later is when you'll decide to release more shades and include more people. Like, that's really wrong. And I feel like that they've always been that way, and it just needs to, and that's why Fenty Beauty really changed the makeup game, because she was one of the mainstream brands that just was like, this is what we need to be doing in the makeup industry right now. And a lot of brands got shared. A lot of brands got scared and they got shook, and they really just, it made a lot of brands step up their makeup game, because they had to compete with Fenty Beauty now, because they knew that Fenty Beauty was taking Sephora by storm and taking the beauty industry by storm. And I'm not saying that Fenty Beauty was the first to do it, because there's Makeup Forever, there's MAC, there's plenty of other makeup companies that have always included, you know, any skin tone, because it's always been important to them. But it did shake a lot of big brand boots and made them step up their shade range. And especially the drugstore, because before this, the drugstore really was not inclusive with their shade ranges at all, to be honest. I don't really remember the last, you know, drugstore brand that released a wide shade range for their foundations since Fenty, you know, shook up the makeup game, and now everyone is doing it. And I feel like that's what's trendy now, because that's what they think, the makeup companies, is that it's trendy. And it's like, no, it's more like it's just being inclusive. Okay, so for my setting powder, I'm going to jump into my Beauty Bakery Flower Powder, and this is the translucent shade. And I'm going to use this as my setting powder underneath my eyes. I don't know if I'm going to use this all over my face. I think I don't have a pressed powder. You know what? I don't think I'm going to set my face, because I'm probably just going to use this, because I forgot that I don't have a pressed powder other than my Wet n Wild and I'm just going to set the parts of my face that really need to be set, like my forehead. I'm just going to set my T-zone with this, because my pressed powder that I have is my Flower Beauty powder, and I don't want to feature that in this video. I'm just going to put a little bit of powder on my cheeks, because usually that helps whatever blush that I decide to use to go on a little bit smoother. So I think that is good. Oh my God, what am I doing? Okay, so I can close this. Okay, and then I just gotta grab my mascara and stuff. Give me a sec. Okay, so now for the mascara, I just went ahead and lined my lower lash line, because again, I don't have a waterline liner from a Black-owned makeup brand. Usually I use drugstore for eyeliner, so I just went in with my Maybelline Skinny Liner, and then I just primed my lashes with my L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Primer. So now for mascara, oh, this is the wrong mascara. Hold on, see, the packaging looks so similar on these two mascaras that I always end up grabbing the wrong one. They do have very similar packaging. So for the for my top lashes, the mascara I'm going to be going in with is Fenty Beauty's Full Frontal Cosm Black Mascara. I absolutely love that name. I think it's so awesome. And this is one of my favorite mascaras. I love this mascara, and I'm going to use that to coat my top lashes. Again, I don't want to come off offending absolutely anybody. So again, if I do come off like I'm not really like wording myself properly, please just let me know in the comments below. But I hope my message will get across, because there was like a meme that was really sticking with me on basically why I wanted to do this video. And it was like a meme saying that we are all influencers, and it doesn't matter how many people are subscribed to us. If you have 200 subscribers or if you have 2,000 or 2 million, we still all have a voice and we all still have a platform. And even though I don't have a big channel, I still can influence somebody's opinion. I can still influence somebody to buy from a makeup company, to buy something, because I have a platform. And in a way, we're all influencers because we all have opinions. We all have different views on what brands we support and what we don't support. But at the same time, it doesn't affect who I'm friends with on YouTube if they support a certain brand and I don't. And I influence someone to not support a brand if I don't support them. And if somebody else supports a brand I don't support, that influences that person to purchase from that brand. So that doesn't bother me at all. So that just really stuck with me, and I hope that what I'm saying kind of inspires some people to, if you feel like you might have to make a change in your life, just, it really will make you feel way better if you start thinking about other people, because we all can be selfish, and even I can be selfish. There's not one person that isn't selfish, and I feel like it's the way that we portray ourselves, because who's going to care about you if you don't care about yourself? That's not being selfish. That's just loving yourself and making yourself a better person, and saying that it's okay to love yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with confidence. But to influence and inspire someone else with my viewpoints and my words is the whole point of this video. So I hope people understand that. So now for my inner corners, I'm going to use the shade Crown. This is a really, really stunning shade as well. This was what I was kind of hoping the House Laboratory shade was going to be like. It's just such a difficult shade to pick up on a brush. Like, that light up shade is just so hard to get to pick up on a brush, and this shade is so much easier to get picked up. Those shades just have very hard pan, and they have a very hard pan formula, and this one is like way easier to pick up, and it's such a stunning like white pinkish inner corner highlight. I love it. So to anyone that is out there protesting right now, please be safe out there. Wear a mask. And just, if you decide to go and protest right now, just go with a couple of people. Do not go by yourself. There's just so many reasons why it is unsafe to be out there right now. Of course, I am not one to stop you to go, but just be aware of your surroundings and just be very, very careful. And that's all I have to say about that. So, but the reason why I'm not out there right now is because there are so many reasons why that it is not safe. And also because of the coronavirus. The coronavirus is not gone. It is not evaporated. We are not all safe just because we're outside. So for me, that is the reason why I am not out there demonstrating right now. Because I don't want to be around too many people to bring home any possible infection to my parents or to my boyfriend or to anyone I still see during this time. So that is the only reason why I'm not out there right now. And that's why social media is so important right now, because we are using our voices with all being stuck inside. And it has been an international movement. It really has been so awesome to watch. So for my setting spray, I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty, Make It, I think it's Baby What It Do. So cute. Setting spray. Just to make my face a little bit less powdery right now. But it is really amazing to watch so many countries and our country just coming together right now, because it's become the biggest movement in history internationally. I think that's amazing. That is just so freaking cool. It really does show what we are all capable of. And it's just so beautiful to watch. And I hope that this changes and wakes up a lot of people and makes white people realize that you can't be ignorant and foolish anymore. You need to wake up and realize that everyone is human and your actions hurt so many different people. And if you don't agree with me, you can unsubscribe to my channel, because if you're here and you don't understand my message, then you don't have to watch me, because I don't need that kind of toxicity on my channel. I just don't. Okay, so now I'm going to grab the rest of my face products. Okay, so now for my face products, I'm going to be using my Fenty Beauty bronzer to bronze up my skin. And this one is called Into Sun. I've always loved this bronzer, and I've used it so many times on my channel. It's always been one of my favorites. This is more of like a cool toned bronzer. I need to see what I'm doing. I use this Marc Jacobs mirror because it's the biggest mirror that I have in like any compact. And I always have really liked the Fenty Beauty bronzer because it's a really light bronzer, and I think it's really great for fair skin tones. And again, why is it that, you know, Fenty understands that us light girls need like light bronzers? Like, we don't want something that's too orange, we don't want something that's too pigmented. We want just like a light wash of color. Like, we want something that'll just look like we're bronzed but not really, because I feel like too much bronzer just makes me look orange. And why is it that she understands that we need a multitude of shades? And she released like 8 shades in her bronzers, and there's so many companies that don't. I think that probably bronzers are probably the one products that companies just release one shade and that's it. And that is wrong. Like, if you're releasing a bronzer, you should at least release 4 to 5 shades, so you have like 2 light, one medium, 1 dark, and 1 deep. Like, why is that so hard to do? It should be like fair, light, medium, deep, and dark, at least. And if you're able to expand it, then expand it, because there's no excuse for these huge companies to not be inclusive anymore. It's just kind of ridiculous. Okay, so now for the majority of my face products, I'm going to be jumping into Beauty Bakery. So I'm going to be featuring 2 of their face palettes. So for the blush, I'm going to be using the Beauty Bakery Scoops Elise Face and Body Palette. And I'm going to grab the shade Creme Brulee right here. It's a really beautiful everyday, like, peachy tone blush. And I love this blush. I've used this palette a bunch. It made me fall in love with their powder products, that I decided to purchase one of their eyeshadow palettes and the highlighting palette that I'm going to use in this video, because I fell in love with this palette. And these are very pigmented. Honestly, you only need 1 swipe, and then I kind of just brush it off and then work it into the skin, and they're pretty pigmented. I'm going to take a little bit more because I feel like I just need a little bit more. And I love this shade. It's such a good, like, everyday blush shade. And I was thinking about using my Fenty Beauty blush, but I wanted to feature more Beauty Bakery because I absolutely love their brand. If you guys haven't tried Beauty Bakery, you really should. They have, I think their powder products are better than their lipsticks. I wasn't really too crazy about the lip whips. I do like the mini lipsticks. Those are really good. Okay, and then for the highlighting palette, I'm going to be jumping into the Beauty Bakery Milk and Honey palette. And I love this guy. I love that it's called Milk and Honey as I'm dropping the insert, because it's for fair skin tones and all the way up to dark, deep skin tones. That's why it's called Milk and Honey. So since I have a milky white complexion, it still works for me. And then if you have a darker skin tone than me, you have a dark honey skin tone, it really works beautifully. So I don't use this shade because that's like a great shade for darker skin tones. I mostly use these shades here. So I think I'm going to mix Spoiler Alert and Be Sweet together. And I'm just going to take a little bit of each, and then I'm going to apply that. And I use this highlighting palette a lot. And I'm going to just build it up a little bit more. And these are just so pretty. They just have a really gorgeous formula. And, oh God, so pretty. I'm not sure if a little bit of my Lele Posh highlighter is on this brush from yesterday, because I did use one of her highlights. But I find that sometimes this palette picks up better with your fingers. But I think it's what I want to go for today, because I don't want it to be too highlighty today. Which is surprising for me, because usually I want it to be like blinding, but today I want it to be a little bit more subdued. So for the lips, I do want to go in with Pat McGrath. I just don't know if I want to use something more pinky or not, because I do want to use her gloss as well, even though I just used that yesterday, but I did want to use it today as well. So I'm not sure yet. I do have some Colored Rain liquid lipsticks as well. We will see. Okay, give me one sec. Okay, and then for the lips, I'm just going to brush through my brows super quick. And then just set them. Sorry, I don't know why my mirror's like all the way on the side. Okay, and then for the lips, I'm going to jump into one of my Pat McGrath Matte Trance lipsticks. And I'm not sure, I think I want to use the lighter tone in this video. Yeah, I think I want to go with this one. This one's more neutral. So this one is called 1995. I'm going to use that as my lipstick. And I've always loved the Pat McGrath lipsticks. But Pat McGrath is an expensive brand. But she has been having quite a bit of sales as of lately. So I would suggest picking up her stuff on sale when you can. But the Matte Trance lipsticks have a gorgeous formula. And the mini ones are a little bit, you know, less expensive. But I think her Matte Trance lipsticks have also been on sale for a little while. I'm not sure if they're still on sale, but I kind of wish I would have waited to get those instead rather than getting the mini ones, because these pop out of the packaging all the time. And since Pat McGrath is expensive, I thought that, you know, that wouldn't happen, but when I got this set for Chip, she told me that it happened like the first time that she used it, and I think that she returned hers. So just keep that in mind. You have to open these lipsticks pretty carefully, because they will pop off, and that's very disappointing, honestly, especially since our brand is so expensive, but they are a beautiful formula. Honestly, I was kind of blown away by how much I loved the formula. They're just really, really creamy matte lipsticks. Okay, and then for the lip gloss, I'm going to go into, of course, my favorite lip gloss formula ever. I wanted to use Pat McGrath, but I don't want the lip gloss to be too pinky. So I'm going to go into my trusty Fenty Glow lip gloss. These are the Gloss Bombs. And you guys know that Fenty Beauty glosses are like my favorite ever. So I'm going to go into this one today. And I am trying to use this one up, so I want to use it today. This color doesn't like never leaves my purse. I love this shade so much. This is the original one that she came out with, that basically everybody went crazy over when it came out, and it's just, oh, it's like the best. And her glosses smell so good, and they're just so comfortable on the lips, and they make your lips so juicy. So now let's get into the final look. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look. So I'm just gonna bring my phone up here so you guys can actually see. So here are the eyes, the cheeks, and the lips. I really love how this look turned out. These are the type of looks I love doing. I didn't want to do anything too extravagant because I'm just going to see my boyfriend. So again, I hope I didn't offend anyone by making this video. I just wanted to feature these brands that I feel strongly about, and I hope that it expands your horizons to try some new brands out there. I love Beauty Bakery. I've loved them for a really long time. I love my Fenty Beauty glosses. I love my Pat McGrath lipsticks. I love the Fenty Beauty bronzer, and the Beauty Bakery powder is pretty good. It's not my favorite, but there's definitely other powders I like more, but it's good. And the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette. Just go show some love and support to these brands. And I keep on forgetting what I'm going to say, but this is my YouTube channel, and if I feel strongly about making a video about this, then please respect that decision for me, because it's, again, not something for me to make trendy or for me to do what's cool right now. That has never been my intention for this video. It's to feature these brands and tell you guys about other makeup brands that are out there. And I'm really glad that, you know, this has been an international movement, that I really hope that this sparks some change in this country that has been much needed for a very, very, very long time. And I really hope that this wakes up our country and police officers and politicians and citizens that this is not an issue that has went away. It has not disappeared. It has not evaporated. It has always been a constant problem in our country. And I'm hoping that this sparks change with, but also racism starts with the family and the way that you're raised. And I feel that if schools change if you can't get, if you can't grow up and be aware of, you know, that you need to be anti-racism, because honestly, there is no excuse for you not to be. That stereotypes need to stop in this country. And I think that people are so quick to judge someone in this country. And this is the country that you should be privileged and not afraid to live in. And I feel like it has just turned upside down, that our country is just so divided right now. And I feel that this international movement will really spark a change in our country. So I hope that school systems will maybe introduce more programs and basically a whole semester teaching and kids that racism is wrong. And I really feel like that should be a way to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel that the coronavirus is going to change so many things and ways that we live when we actually can go out safely. And I think that it's really going to change. I think it's going to make a lot of other people kinder. It's going to make people more aware of their surroundings. It's going to make people hopefully safer, because there's so many reasons why it's so unsafe to be out there right now. Like, you don't know if you're going to get pepper sprayed, and you don't know if you're going to get robbed. You don't know if you're going to get infected. So please, 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 again, be safe out there. I love you all so, so, so much. And just because I don't know you doesn't mean I don't love you. If you hate someone that you have never met, you can also love them. So I just want to tell you guys that. I saw that also going around social media lately, but it is so true. If you feel strongly about hating someone that you have never met, you can change your point of view and love that person, because you should not hate anyone. That is wrong. Okay? Unless they're a serial killer, you shouldn't be hating anybody. So I love you guys so much. I hope that my message was portrayed in this video. Again, thank you so much to Robin, aka Robbin'sSafePlace, for doing this collab with me. It was so great to meet someone new and collab with someone new on my channel. It's just been such a fun year for me to feature new brands and new channels and new friends on my YouTube channel that I've collabed with, and I love you so much, and thank you so much for collabing with me. Again, please make sure you check out her video. I'll leave her linked below in the description box. So I love you guys. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media. I love you guys so much. You have no idea. Bye.